So we are about to see the first lot of heats for tonight. In fact, the last lot of heats for tonight as well for the Legend cars. Up on screen is our Heat 10 for Digital Designs by Ricky Lee. Brittany Radford off the front with Mark Mazik and Kyle Sanders and Brendan Radford in the second row. Rob Rawlings and Colin Metcalf will be in the third row. Darren Snowden and Braden Wilmington will be in the fourth row, and Ken Melvin will be on the back. So what will we see in this heat race? Time will tell as we get ready to go green. So cars just getting ready to go in this one.
It's going to be an interesting run from the back of the field, mate.
Sorry, go again there, Baron.
Interesting run from the back of the field with all the one cars at the back and Snowden as well, mate. So two multiple heat winners in this field are Braden Wilmington and Darren Snowden, so it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, it certainly is. There's one thing that we're seeing produced tonight. I reckon there's going to be some...
But just looking at that track, she's a little bit slick on the bottom side of the track, which is good. It's going to allow some slide drops a little bit later in the night, but that top side's got some grippers, which just Matt Kennedy just proved just before, so this should be exciting, and I think we're about to go green.
We are about to go green. As we get ready to go green here in the WA Australian Legend Car Championship, the final round of heats for our Legend cars. Watch the rear as the one cars will try and dominate straight away, and we do see that the 1W in there of Rob Rawlings has probably got the best of the starts. Oh, they come very, very close to each other, and it was Kyle Sanders out in front, but the 1W has got around and got himself up into first spot. So let's see how the rest of it pans out. It is the number one in the W car out in front. It's 3 wide for second. So it's Rob Rawlings, Kyle Sanders, Darren Snowden, and Ken Melvin in there as well. Then the 70 car of Brendan Radford with that new engine out there as well. So we get around with 2 laps in the book, and Rob Rawlings has split the scene. Fast lap last time, 21.495. In fact, a 29.41. And then Darren Snowden in the 9 car has got a 29.25. So he's moving in that field as well. And Kyle Sanders. And then the 42 car of Ken Melvin. Watch out for Braden Wilmington. He is trying to find a little bit of speed and get around Melvin. So they head down the back straight one more time. It is Rob Rawlings from Darren Snowden, from Kyle Sanders, from Braden Wilmington, who is back there in fourth, but will maybe be in third very soon. Comes around, well, not quite yet, comes around turns 3 and 4, sticks it, and gets up into third. So that puts Kyle Sanders back to third. Braden Wilmington up into third spot at the top. And while that's all happening, check out at the front, Darren Snowden is under pressure. So Rob Rawlings is put under pressure from Darren Snowden, and he's got around and underneath. That'll happen in that last lap. The lead is about to change because Rawlings is going to try and get around the outside. He does momentarily. Snowden manages to capitalise again. Rob Rawlings comes unstuck, so that opens the door for Darren Snowden. Has now got a good 20 or 30 metres in front of Rawlings. The number 1 car in the N variety, Braden Wilmington, is in third. 4 laps to go in this 10-lap heat race for the Legend cars. What is to play out here? Will Wilmington move up into second spot? Will the WA one get in there and stay in second? What will we see? One thing I can tell you, Darren Snowden has split the scene. 3 laps to go. A lot of work to do for Rob Rawlings and Braden Wilmington. Probably too much work to do would take some sort of mistake from Snowden from here. Be 2 laps to go this time around, and our race leader comes out of turn number 4 with a couple left in this one. Darren Snowden from Rob Rawlings and Braden Wington. Then it's back in 4th spots of Ken Melvin. 5th spot is Radford. Mark Mazik in 6th, and Kyle Sanders and Colin Metcalf are your starters and order for heat number 1 tonight for the Legend cars, and overall heat number 10 for the weekend. Darren Snowden out in front. The only possible change here could be between Rawlings and Williamson, because the white flag has been. Darren Snowden comes around to see the checkered flag. What will we see here? Will Wilmington get around the outside of Rawlings? He can't. So the race leader and winner for most of it was Darren Snowden. Rob Rawlings, then Braden Wilmington, Ken Melvin, Brendan Radford. That's your top 5 there, but how good of a drive from Darren Snowden. Rob Rawlings, you thought at one stage had that one in the bag, but Snowden has been proving to be a little bit of a pest out the front when he does that, which for him is a good thing. For the other drivers, a little bit of work to do to catch him as well when he gets out there.
If you told me through a whole Australian title that Rob Rawlings wouldn't at least grab a heat win for the whole Australian title, mate, I'd call you a liar, mate. That's not a very common thing there. A lot of seconds there this weekend for poor Robbie. He's following someone's bumper across. That's 3 heat wins for the weekend for Darren Snowden. Absolutely beautiful looking car, well presented teammate, and they should almost cement them on the front row there. As long as Paul Joss has a good heat race, that should be our front row for the Australian title at this time of moment. We're sort of talking in the pits early today with Braden Wilmington, and we just believe the winner will come from the front 4 rows, definitely. So it's, any chance in that situation, 25 laps in a Legend car around this raceway is really, really big. Just to get the all clear across the scales, you just take the helmet off and get the gear, of course, made the travel over. Apparently us WA boys bullied him into come across. He wasn't originally going to come, and then he's got the bullying to come across, mate. This thing's humming along, buddy.
Yeah, it's going pretty good, actually. I thought I'd not do too much stupid in that one, but the holes just opened up and off we went. It was good.
I was just saying then, if I said to you that Rob Rawlings wouldn't win a heat race in an Australian title weekend, you wouldn't believe it, mate. And he's followed everyone across the line all weekend. But you've got to be happy. 3 heat wins for the weekend, mate. That definitely probably concrete you to the front row for the start of this Australian title.
Yeah, no, you can only put yourself in the best position and hope from there, eh? So I'm real happy.
No, well done, mate. Well done. Ricky Lee, designs by Ricky Lee, heat race winner number 10. Of Darren Snowden, happy with that one. Rob Rawlings goes across the line as well. He's crossing second. He's got I think that's his 3rd second for the weekend.
Yeah,
so
I reckon it'll be 3rd.
Don't think he'd be that stoked about that many second places in one weekend. I know Rob Rawlings. He likes to win. That guy gets up on the wheel. So hopefully we can get it all sorted, and we'll go to heat race 11, mate.
Yeah, well, thanks to Pertac in Bunbury. Julia Gordon off the front with Travis Gould. Baron Karks off the 2nd row with Troy Bolton, Ricky Lee Beard and Scott Nichols in the 3rd row. Kim Williams and Russell Siri in the 4th row, and Tyler Humphreys to round out our cars here.
You know, whoever wins this heat race, mate, will have a brand new heat race winner for the weekend, because there's no existing heat race winners in this field.
So that is good for all these cars to
get some points.
Get some points in the bag. Question through on the text line. You might be able to help me out, this Barry, because you seem a lot more than what I do. What is the format for a V8 Dirt Modified, and how many are there in the WA on a big event, mate?
So they had a state title just recently in Margaret River. They only got 10 cars to that title. I'd say on average to a title they'll get 12 cars. They're not as big as here and then they are on the East Coast. They'll pull 20, 25 cars to an event over on the East Coast, mate. So format pretty much works like Speedway sedan points as well. So it's 36 for a first and so on and so forth. But yeah, I'll go on a bit more in after this race, mate. We'll go green with...
Fantastic, thank you, mate. Always a wealth of knowledge. You can text in 0430 678 378 if you want to throw any questions or support behind any drivers tonight as well, or just say g'day. If you want to let us know where you're watching from, if you're at home in Real Speedway TV. It is Julia Gordon and Travis Gould to lead us away in this one. And it's the 91. Julia Gordon gets the better of the start. I say that. Travis Gould found a bit of speed and gets around the outside there, and they head down the back straight for one more time. Look out for the 27 car in there as well as they head, sorry, I should say the 22 car in there as well. They head around for the First lap in anger for these drivers tonight. Who will do it and who will pick up the win? It is going to be Travis Gould down in front from Julia Gordon, then Troy Bolton. Then it's back to Tyler Humphries and Russell Siri in there. So some great driving in there. Green lights are still on. I thought I heard a call for yellow there, but I'm starting to hear things across the second night. Travis Gould in first place. Second place is actually the 22 of Scott Nichols by there out the looks. Missing the timing. Doesn't look like his transponder is up there. Then the 91 car of Julia Gordon is back in third spot. So we'll run around for this one. And the 17 car is just having a great battle out there is Travis Gould. He is just pushed away from this field. Could he be winning his first heat tonight? Scott Nichols in second spot. We've seen him all weekend being up the front part of this race, but hasn't picked up heat race winners. Barry said we haven't seen any heat race winners from this group at the moment. Julia Gordon back in second place. Then Troy Bolton drops back, opens the door for Tyler Humphries, who gets up into fourth spot. And then it's back to Russell Siri in there as well. So we wait to see, with 5 laps to go in these 10-lap heats, who will be the first heat race winner tonight. Will it be the 22 car of Scott Nichols? Will he pick it up? Will it be a current race leader, Travis Gould? 4 laps to go in this one. And he's getting very close up the front. Travis Gould, Scott Nichols. Who's it going to be? 3 laps to go. I'm going to put my money that Scott Nichols will get very close with 3 laps to go. He'll be roughly knowing how many laps he's got left in this one to catch up. Travis Gould has led it since pretty much we hit go button. He found a bit of speed and got around the outside and got in there. He did start outside on the front row. 2 laps to go this time around. What is going to play out in this one? Maybe too much gap for our 22 of Scott Nichols. Travis Gould pushing away. Julia Gordon in third and Tyler Humphries in fourth spot. That could be potentially the order at this point. White flag out. 1 lap to go. Can Scott Nichols make a difference in this one? Heads down the Bunbury Speedway. Does Travis Gould pass the Bunbury Speedway sign? Nichols is going to make one final attempt, but I think he's too far behind. He is too far behind because look at Travis Gould. Picks up his heat race win and his first for the weekend. Scott Nichols in second. Julia Gordon third. Tyler Humphries fourth. But Travis Gould started off the outside of the front row and picks up a heat race win here tonight. And his first heat race win, and I reckon he'll be looking forward to have a chat to you, Barry, after his first win.
Yeah, well, Trevor's a 2-time former West Australian champion as well, mate. So he's definitely no beginner in this division as well. It's good to see he's got a heat win for this. He'll be absolutely stoked with this. Doesn't really show much emotion, this guy, but a really, really nice guy and all the same. Picking up the heat 11 for Simpson Race Parts. 7 show once again, we do the usual, chuck them over the scales, and we'll just do 1 round. Looks like on the pattern they've gone with is first and second tonight going across the scales. So. Of course, these cars have to weigh a minimum of 600 kilos to cross, so most of these guys sitting around the 620, 615 mark with a full tank of, with an empty tank of fuel. So just a little bit over. Given the all clear, big thumbs up from Kai Stevens. So as we'll roll Travi forward now, we'll have a quick chat with him, mate. He'll be pretty stoked with this one. Travi, mate, got to be happy to have a heat race win and an Australian title.
Yeah, good run. Track's a little bit different to last night, early night so far, but yeah, that's all just fun. But big ones yet to come.
Obviously, this gives you a good bunch of points to move you a little bit further up the start of that A, mate. We believe it come from probably the front 4 rows who can win this Australian title. Do you think you go what it's got to put a big number 1 on this door?
Yeah, last night I think started 12th in the prelim. Had a good run all night, but just couldn't get the right result. And then, yeah, it's good to get this, and then hopefully this gets me up another grid spot or two. So.
Well, mate, your Heat 11 winner for Simpson Race Parts Australia. We're about to go final heat racing for Legend Cars here at the Make Smoking History tonight for our Australian title. The next time you'll see some of these guys on track will be for that all 25 lap A main.
Yeah, it's going to be a massive A main. This one thanks to Edge Fiberglass. Heat 12, Paul Joss off the front, which is a good bit of luck for him, I would say, after last night, and hoping to capitalise on gaining those points. And Phil Nichols will be outside of him. Wayne Campbell and Matt Gordon in the second row. Cody Roberts and Ben Boyd in the fourth row. Steve Barrow and Greg Joss in the final row. Some pretty big movers in this one, and one of them being the Paul Joss Mobile. And would be hoping that tonight, with this freshly fixed car, and refresh my memory, Barry, was front right, wasn't it, that they...
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It was all shot, control arms, radius rods, brakes, everything on that was completely disassembled from that car in a quick hurry last night. Of course, the car behind him was unfortunately the car that got caught up with it too, Wayne Campbell, and he's actually virtually had to do a similar thing as well. So it's a lot of front rights on cars. Ricky Beer in the 57 car, she had the same problem as well, being caught up in the fence in her final heat last night. So it's a bit havoc for the local guys last night, but hopefully Paulie off the front row, mate, I'm confident he'll show how it's done from here.
Oh, you would imagine that, so we'll see how that pans out, and be some beer shouted, no doubt, for a few of these crews that have been jumping in, and different crews tonight at the end of the night, no matter where you finish in the A main. Obviously the aim is to finish at the front, but there can only be one car. We will crown a champion later on tonight across Australia for the Hit WA Australian Legend Car Championship. But meanwhile, our last heat for the weekend. Let's watch what Paul Joss does, and he does what he's been doing all weekend, and he kicks away from Phil Nichols. Gets going nice and easily, and that car of Paul Joss's looks in pretty good nick. And then Matt Gordon has gone, well, hey, I need some points too, and he's got up into second. Back in third place was that 10 car of Phil Nichols. And then in fourth place is Wayne Campbell. Watch this battle out the front. A bit of speed in from our AU1 of Matt Gordon. 20.625 for that time around. So he's got the fastest lap with Paul Joss in front of him. 10 lap journey here, 2 laps down. It is neck and neck at the front. Paul Joss from Matt Gordon, who's done another fast lap at 20.223. So he's the fastest car out on the track, and there's minimal space between him and Paul Joss. Meanwhile, the Wayne Campbell car gets up underneath of Nichols and gets into third. Watch this battle out the front, and it's been led by Joss at the moment. He'd know he's there too. Matt Gordon is having a great drive behind him. Just got to find the right time. They come very close together. Gordon hits the brakes. Doesn't allow himself to get around as Paul Joss has closed the gap. 6 laps to go this time around, and have a look at this battle. This is great. This is going to go right to the end, this one. Will we see another close finish? I reckon we might. Wayne Campbell is a fair way off in third for this one, a length of the straight. Phil Nichols, Ben Boyd in there as well is your top 5. Back to the front. 5 laps to go, so they put 5 in the book, another 5 to run. Feel like this race has got a couple of more stories in it yet, especially up at the front. Paul Joss down past the Bunbury Speedway sign. You feel like Matt Gordon is just, knowing there's a bit of real estate left in this race, just finding the right time. Is now that time? It is. Gordon is just in front. Joss, they come side by side past the start finish line. Matt Gordon did come across first in the timing, and then he's got in front of Paul Joss. So can Paul Joss find a little bit more out of this car? It's been the fastest car, I would say, for most of the weekend. Had to do a bit of work to it, so maybe still settling it in after last night, but he would love the points. In fact, both of these cars would love the points on tonight for those starting positions in the A main. A little bit later on tonight, here we go again. Paul Joss is going to try and sneak around the outside. There will only be 2 laps to go this time around. Has Joss got him? Joss has got around the outside. He hasn't, so it's very close there. Matt Gordon winning this one at the moment. So it's Gordon and Joss. Joss and Gordon. Which way is it going to end? Wayne Campbell is clearly in third at the moment. Joss comes underneath. He'll see the white flag this time around. Will he be in front or will he be in second? He's in front, so he's opened the door as Matt Gordon, and Joss has made the most of it. Gordon comes underneath and tries to go again. We are going to see one lap of absolute fury here between these two cars. Joss is leading the battle at the moment. Will Matt Gordon try and get him on the inside? Will he try and get him on the outside? We will find out, because the checkered flag is in hand. One corner to go. Paul Joss probably going to do too much in this last corner. He has, picks up the win. Well done to Paul Joss over Matt Gordon. That could be a good battle later on tonight in the feature. Third place goes to the 77 car of Wayne Campbell. Then it's the 10 car of Phil Nichols. And while all that was going on, Boyd Barrow and Greg Joss all having a battle, and they finish in this order. Boyd, Barrow, Joss to round out your 7 cars out on there. But how good was Paul Joss? That was exciting. That was great racing, and they will be all thankful that there was 10 laps in that one, because if there was only a 8-lapper, I reckon Matt Gordon would have had him. The locals would be up and about with Paul Joss, and after last night, be very, very excited. And how did you see it from down track side, Barry?
Mate, how exciting is that? How exciting is Legend Cars here in Australia, in WA as well, of course. Paul Joss there, he makes slight mistake. You don't need to make many mistakes around behind Matty Gordon, mate, and in here. But Paul, mate, he just got up on that wheel and he made it happen. An absolutely exciting race there. And as I said, when you add in the likes of Bolton, Wilmington, you know, Humphreys, mate, this AMA is just going to be somewhat exciting. As I said last night, I'm Big Kev. I'm excited. I'm looking at Paulie Joss right now. He's ecstatic in that car to get that heat win. That'd be a massive confidence boost going into the feature race tonight. And I'm not very good with my numbers and I run out of fingers, mate, but I pretty much almost guarantee that will put Paulie Joss on the pole. I won't say too much more than that. He was top points man coming in tonight with a heat win. That pretty much lock up that pole position for him as he'll come through this time. I did have a chat with him at the start of the night in the pits with our cameraman, so you'll see that interview a little bit later on. And mate, they virtually had this car virtually back to a chassis, rebuilding it, and they got here in plenty of time. And his crew just get behind him. Paul does a lot of the work himself, mate. As I said, he's not just helping him, he's helping many other cars here this weekend as well. So he's absolutely heavily invested, and he's a major asset to Legend Cars WA and Legend Cars Australia. Oh, Matt, he pushed you for a bit there, mate, but you thought you'd just toy with him a bit and just get back underneath him down the back straight. You've got to be pretty happy with that.
Oh, definitely, Barry. After what happened last night with the mishap, it was good to have a good race with me mate, Matty. I was just feeling the car out there, not pushing it too hard, and like he did the pass on me, and I thought better time get to hurry up and move on.
So the car feels pretty much the same as last night, because she was a rocket ship last night, and I know the track's a little bit different tonight, but you look pretty comfortable.
Oh, she's a little bit freer in the front end, so which is good, but I've tightened him up a little bit more, and hopefully we can go a little bit faster than last night.
Well, mate, your final heat winner, Paul Joss. While I'm down here, I'm actually going to grab Matty Gordon at the same time. Almost had him, mate. You pushed him.
Oh, that's it. Well, pretty good fun, actually.
That's just a sign of what's to come tonight. When you had Braden Wilmington and all that into that, of course you were involved in that exciting finish last night, 3-way across. You got to go over the scales like you're the winner just to get back to the pits to have it rubbed off your mate.
Oh, dude, yeah. Can't wait for the next one. It's all on the line, so hopefully I can keep the one on the door. There we go.
No worries, buddy. Well done, mate. Jared, that concludes our heat racing tonight for the Legend Cars. They'll be back out for their A-main.
Stepping it up over the years, but like no, there is not one bad-looking car in this lineup, mate. They've all and we've got them all through to this point of the night too. So 26 took the start of the weekend, mate, and we have 26 cars parked out on the curb line here at the Make Smoking History Bunbury Speedway. As we just wait for a couple of officials to get up this end, we'll get this presentation well and truly underway. Just looking for Kyle. There's Kyle.
What's great to see too is you just see all the drivers moseying around, having a chat to each other. Saw a couple of them up in the grandstand enjoying some of the earlier racing as well. They just love what they're doing, and excited to be here, whether they're starting off pole or starting at the back. So
absolutely, mate. So we actually take 24 through tonight, and we've got 2 reserves. So, mate, we'll get this straight underway. Let's just go straight off tonight. Starting at a reserve position number 2, the Sanders Bricklaying. He was a supporter of this title with sponsoring, so out of position number 26. So he'll be our second reserve of Kyle Sanders. John's just daydreaming there, talking to the ladies. Reserve number 1. This is her second meeting ever in a legend car, mate. She's had a pretty tough weekend, but she's out there as the first reserve now. The B&B Offal T-Mac Logistics number 3 of Brittany Radford. Spoke to this guy about a month ago. He said he'd just be happy to make the show, and he's just done that himself. He'd be quite happy. The Three Waters Digital number 72 of Baron Cox. Out of position number 23. This guy's put his heart and soul into this weekend as well. He's made sure there's a heap of cars on this track, and Collie Binhai and Greg Joss himself, without him, mate, it's just a massive thanks for what he's done for this weekend. Not just this weekend, but Legend Cars WA as a series as well, mate. He always gives his 110%, and we're forever grateful. We might give each other a bit of trouble here and now and then, but the respect I have for this guy is none. So out of position, number 23 is the 69W of Greggy Joss. This is another person I've seen absolute frustration from absolutely destroying a car less than a few weeks ago. We knew her as the Super Spud. She's come back as the Super Corporate Spud this time around. The W57, the KJB Race Parts Hit FM team of Ricky Lee Beard. Out of our next starting position, this guy here is a bit of a quiet achiever. I actually would call this his standout weekend. He's actually been really, really well. We'd be happy to make the show here. The Southwest Earthworks, number 79, Ironman himself, Cody Roberts. Starting our next position in the feature race. I don't think he'd be overly excited about this far back in the field, mate, but after the night he had last night, and he's managed to find an engine to put in the car tonight, for Tyre Power Bunbury CB Graphics number 89 of Colin Metcalf. Out of position number 19 tonight, this guy got best presented earlier in the weekend. He had a bit of a rough run through the heats. I think he'll be looking to move forward in this one, maybe be a hard charge in this one. It'll be the 32 of Kimmy Williams. Starting our position at number 18, this guy here, he's one of the 2 guys that have won all the feature races this weekend here in the WA Legend Car Series. He's an absolute superstar. He'll definitely be one for watching. The B&B Offal Scully's Fiberglass, number 70 of Brendan Radford. Starting out of our next starting position, this guy's been around, this will be his second year. He started off in this, he was a bit green in it. He seems to be an experienced campaigner now. In the Bunbury Custom Cabinets, number 10 of Phil Nichols. In our next starting position, this is one guy that nothing ever seems to really faze him. Always just smiling, always lending a hand where he can. He's muchly appreciated and respected by everyone in the venue. Starting our next starting position is the 23 of Russell Seary. We'll get into our second lady racer in the field now. She's come all the way from Queensland. She's Mrs. Australia 1 herself, the Q91 of Julia Gordon. Out of our next starting position is the second car of our Hit FM team here. And of course, we've got to thank Hit FM for being major supporters of this event. This guy's come all the way across. He's the 2A of Troy Bolton. Sorry, I just had a mental break, Troy. I always said I was never going to do that, mate, and I did it to you of all people. This guy's only just purchased this car, former WA1 car. He starts out of position, oh God, what are we now? Now that's 16. The W33 of Mark Mazek.
My bad.
So starting out of position number 12, Mr. Swamp Donkey himself for KJB Race Parts, the W77 Swamp Donkey, ladies and gentlemen, Wayne Campbell. Starting out of position number 11. This guy has been a quite of achiever. He's definitely a bullet, especially coming this far down. He'll be one to watch as well. The W12, Betty Boyd. This guy here builds a lot of engines over here for WA race cars in the Legend Car field, mate. He's given out an engine this weekend to keep people in the field, and it's just a testament of the guy who he is. Starting in next starting position, the W16 of Stevie Barrow. He showed a bit of pace earlier in the weekend. He had a few engine dramas and a heat race pulled off. He didn't look overly ecstatic about that one. They've got it all sorted. He finds himself towards the front of this field and definitely one of the favourites to win the 3A of Tyler Humphreys. This guy shows some pace out throughout this whole season. He went to the last Australian Tile, didn't quite have it all his way. He's a sponsor of the event from Collie Machine Shop himself, the W42 of Kenny Melvin. He's a former two-time WA champion. He got a heat race early win tonight. You could see that he was ecstatic in his eyes with this one. He's definitely going to give it a red hot go. The W17 of Travis Gould. Sorry guys, just having a little trouble with the microphone down here. I do apologise. Starting our next position, the Queensland 22. He's in his second year of racing. He puts it inside the top 6 for your Australian Tile, Scotty Nichols. Apologise for the stall out, guys. My headset was beeping at me going flat. So I've had a chat with this guy a few times this week, and I'm going to grab a quick word quickly before we move on a little bit, mate. Matty Gordon, you're starting out of position, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, position 5 for yourself, mate. We did say the front 8 cars were going to get up on this one. Do you think you got it takes to come out of 5 to keep the 1 on the door?
Yeah, I think so. We proved that in the heat race when I stood on you know what, and then we'll come back and nearly got the win. But for similar position starting up from last year, so yeah, it's going to be cutthroat, but hopefully everyone survives and we can all have a beer at the end of the night.
Now, well, mate, out of your position number 5, your Australian champ, your current Australian, Matty Gordon. This is where the field gets a lot tougher. We'll get into our front 2 rows. Starting position number 4, he wasn't going to come. He got bullied a little bit. He's glad he's come. He's put it out of position 4. Your current West Australian champion, Club 69 race cars of Rob Rawlings. Trying to remember. Me and this fella have had a few chats over this weekend, mate. He's an absolute gem of a bloke. Hadn't met him prior to this weekend. He's one of the nicest guys. Met him and his partner through the Calcutta and at Kyle Shed through the week. He starts out position number 3, KJ Race Parts, Marilla Electrical Group, the 1N of Braden Wilmington. And this brings us to our front row. These guys have been a stand of the class this weekend so far. One with 3 heat wins, one with 4 heat wins, and absolute dominance in that sense. Starting out of position number 2, the guy who's got to do all the chasing at the start, hopefully not, the 9A of Darren Snowden. Oops, sorry guys. And this brings us to our pole sitter. I'm going to grab another word with him because I'm hoping I'm having another chat with him after this one as well. And I think he is too, mate. How are the nerves?
Oh, pretty good. I've done a fair few titles and that, and it's just, you just got to go with what you go, mate, and whatever happens, happens.
Mate, we've spoken about last night. Let's put that in the past. That doesn't matter anymore now. You've got 25 laps ahead of you. How's the Bunbury machine got it?
Hopefully. It's taken it pretty well, and yeah, I got to try and redeem myself.
Absolutely, mate. For the Collie Ridge Motel, the W19, your Pole City Leisure, put your hands together, the local boy of Paul Joss. That, ladies and gentlemen, is your 24 starters plus your 2 reserves here for the 2025 Hit FM Australian Legend Car title. Jared, mate, this is exciting. I'm even going to have to change some batteries in my headset because that went flat halfway through and messed me all up. So, mate, this is exciting. These guys will now bolt into the car. We will go 4 wide for you, the crowd, to say thank you for you guys this weekend. Seeing good numbers in the crowd. The track's been amazing. The support divisions have been absolutely awesome. And we can't go past every sponsor that's made this happen this weekend. As I'm just going to wander down here. Actually, I've just seen someone. This guy absolutely hates me putting a microphone under his face. So I think this is the perfect opportunity to do it because he can't yell at me. He can't hit me. And we get to have a really good chat about this. Kyle, from KJB Industries to Legend Cars WA, mate, you and Ricky, this wouldn't be possible without you guys. This whole weekend wouldn't be possible. You've got a good team behind you.
Yeah, mate, we've got plenty of people that helped us out this weekend. We've got Michael Harper who come over from the Eastern States, John Denny. Yeah, fantastic people that helped us put this show together. Logan and Risha from LDH Contracting. This track has been absolutely fantastic all weekend. Multiple lines. The drivers are loving it, and hopefully we put on a good show. And thank you to all the spectators that come out and support the Legend Cars. We've got a growing division here. These guys are fantastic people to work with, and we hope you enjoy the final.
Yeah, well done, guys. As these guys bolt in, I'll go back upstairs to Jared. We're just going a little bit organised, mate, down here. This is going to be exciting, 25 laps. I'll put some batteries in the headset, mate, and then me and you can maybe share this one.
Certainly sounds like a plan. And on the text line on 0430 678 378, lots of support coming through. Go well, all you legends. All the best to you all. Hold it well, Wayne Campbell, 77, the Swamp Sloth. And also, go for it, Swamp Donkey. Send it 100%. Love, Mum. Lots of support from family members. Sean McDonald from Sydney watching at home. Braden Wilmington gets it done, according to him. And this is a great message. I've got to read this one out. I was brought up as an only child in milling, but if it's one thing that made my life a little richer was attending the Pithera Speedways with my parents. I have now brought my 4 kids to the Bunbury Speedway tonight. I have Speedway fumes up my nose, mud in my hand, dust in my eyes, just how I remember. It's been an awesome experience. Thank you. And supporting all the drivers tonight. Great to have you here at the Bunbury Speedway. That text number again, if you want to text it through, 0430 678 378. I am looking forward to this feature race. We'll get it underway very, very soon. All the cards just about getting ready to take off. Most drivers in, support crew leaving the infield and heading back to the pit area. We are excited to go racing here at the Make Smoking History Bunbury Speedway. The A-Main brought to you tonight by Pertec Bunbury, EDR Mechanical, Med Access Solutions, Bustleton Bitumen Service and Civil, and Edge Fiberglass. The Hit WA Australian Legend Car Championship. These cars have been working all weekend to put on a great show, and boy have we seen some close races as well. Getting ready to put some power into these cars and get underway. Oops, I accidentally tapped the mouse and changed the songs out there. Another message through. Let's go, Braden Williamson. Chase that A1. Lots of parents and family members watching at home, hoping that tonight they can see lots of people here watching live tonight as well in the stands. Coming through on the text line. Tyler Humphrey needs to propose if he makes the top 6. His girlfriend is waiting. Plus shout out to his brother in Canberra supporting him with his mates. A bit going on the text line there. Great show. Paul Joss for the win. Some support there. Cars underway. We are not too far away from start in the Australian title. Question through, come on the text line, and I'll see if I can get that answered for you for the correct wording around the state titles. So stand by for an answer on that one. Cars almost all under their own steam.
Mate, there'd be no title without a little bit of drama. Troy Bolton seems to have hit an issue on the 2A car. I'm just trying to find out what's going on there, so I'll just wait to see back, mate. But Troy Bolton's pulled up on the infield. That can't be positive at the moment.
That isn't. That is not how you want to get your title underway.
So here's a little bit of heartbreak for Troy Bolton. Flat left rear tyre. So what they can do, by Legend Car ruling, they are not allowed to change it. The car has been presented to the dummy grid. But what they can do, and this is where he's lucky, Logan from LDH Mechanical has a compressor in the back of his ute. So they're going to pump it up. They're going to see how they go. And we'll see if he can go the distance with a tyre that's not looking too crash hot. If it goes flat, he will be out, and that means Brittany Radford would be our starter in the A main. But it's all touch wood here for Troy Bolton. They've put some air in it, so he'll give it a go.
The dramas as we get a nice view of the trophies on the front straight with the winner boards as well. The cars are all under their own steam now in front of the KJB pace ute.
Ladies and gentlemen, as they come onto the main straight, they're going to go 4 wide. Get your phones in the air, yell, scream and shout. You are here witnessing the first Legend Car national title here in WA, supported by Hit FM. Make sure they can hear you guys as they go 4 wide. 26 of the best in Australian Legend Car racing here at the Make Smoking History Bunbury Speedway. Is that 2 reserves at the back of the field, mate? How good is that look?
How good does it look? I was just about to say that exact thing.
Got chills, mate, got chills. I never thought I'd get chills for Legend Car racing, but here we are, mate. This is exciting stuff. We're going to crown a national champion. Are we going to crown a new national champion? That's what we're talking about right now.
There's 20, what have we got? 24 chances or 23 chances out there of a new Australian champion.
Absolutely. So as I said, we've got 2 reserves in this. If there's any incidents in lap number 1, our reserves will get the go-ahead to go into this. Fortunately, I'm doing double duties with this one too, mate, as running the crash bay as well. So I'll do my best to stay with you as much as I can, mate.
Well, Barry and I will take you through the hill for a couple of laps each. I'll get things underway very shortly as we get ready to go green. Joss is the man to track down in this one. He's probably been, or has been, I'll say it, the better car of the weekend. Darren Snowden has put in a gallant effort right through the weekend as well. He is a chance. In fact, any car out there is a chance in Speedway. It is a pair of threes behind that. The 1N of Braden Wingington, the 1W of Rob Rawlings, and the 1AU of Matt Gordon. We are not too far away from going racing here in the HIT WA Australian Legend Car Championship. Thanks for joining us, whether you're at home or you're on the track. Thanks to the support on the text line. Thanks for being part of this amazing race.
Just wait there, okay? All right, I'll give.
As we get ready to go green, the amber lights flash. We are about to go green in the title here for 25 laps. Paul Joss is the man who will want the start. When he's done that all weekend, we've seen the best of Paul Joss. We are away, green in the national title here at the Make Smoking History Bunbury Speedway. It is the 9 car of Darren Snowden that is outside Paul Joss. They get very, very close. The ones behind are lurking around. They've stayed in the lines of 2 as they head down the back straight for the first time in this national title. A mix and a shake and a move around. And coming out of turn number 4 is the number 9 car of Darren Snowden. Paul Joss has dropped back to 3rd for the time being. Rob Rawlings is just sticking into 3rd. Joss is back up into 2nd, almost caught Snowden as well. Joss is going to get back underneath and try and get this one. So we're going to have 2 laps in the book this time around. They are 3 wide in the national title as they come around turn number 4.
As they headed down the main straight, Paul Joss back out in front now, but don't forget your former national champion on the outside, Rob Rawlings on the outside. They run it down the back straight now in the Bunbury City Speedway as they go and think, don't roll out Snowden either. And look at Braden Wilmington and Matt Gordon. This is going to be a lung buster, ladies and gentlemen. They head it down to the back of the field. Lap traffic will come to play. They're 2x2 down the main straight, down the Hanson Reston straight. Rob Rawlings takes the lead on the next lap coming through. Paul Joss gets a little caught up. Wilmington's going to capitalise on that. Joss has gone around.
Wow. Wow, was he tapped around? That is the question that...
I don't want to call it, but yes, but I'll see what the stewards called that one. From my point of view, it looked like there may have been some sort of help there, but I couldn't say who or what.
Just watching the replay, there was certainly some help. I can't quite make out the number on the screen, but Paul Joss was definitely tapped by a car. Looking next door at the officials. On the replay, we can definitely see some tapping.
I'm just going to go radio quiet for a minute, mate.
We're just going to watch the replay. The stewards are going to come next door and watch this replay one more time in here, and we'll watch it at home. Stand by for that replay again. Just coming around on the replay for those at home. Here it is. We've just caught the back end of that replay. Officials nod their head in agreement. Thank you to Team of Speedway TV. Saved us a lot of conversation back and forth there. So Paul Joss will resume from his position at this stage, is the ruling.
Car 19 all clear to go out of the tech bay, mate. No thing, just a slight touch there. Car 9's going to come in for a chat, so we'll see how that goes. And I can almost see the writing on the wall, mate. So that's.
So was it Darren Snowden that gave him the tap? I think it was.
It was the 9 car behind him. I didn't want to call it because you don't want to be that commentator that sort of persuades a situation that might be wrong. So unfortunately, it was the 9A car behind him. So he'll go from the back. You're going to watch him charge from the back on this one. So they'll go double interfile start now for a restart on this one. Paul Joss will now go to the outside. But Rob Rawlings, mate, and he's just sat there quietly all weekend, coming across the line in 2nd a few times. So he's definitely come to life in this 25 lap A main. Heartbreak for Darren Snowden, but it's still early in the race, mate. We've watched them come from deep in the heat race. As Matty Gordon turned around and said, he goes, I stood on you-know-what, and he still managed to get up for a second place in a heat win. I know 24 cars is probably a bit more than the 10 that or the 8 they've been running, but he's still got 23 odd laps to do this, mate. It's definitely going to be a lung gluster.
Yeah, 22 laps in this one. Cars get ready to go green again.
Bit of a mess on the back straight.
It is messy, but Darren Snowden, who's going to take advantage of that, he's already made up a heap of positions on this one. Rob Rawlings is away in this one. Paul Joss has the work to do. Rob Rawlings has probably been the better of the drivers in this race so far. 21 laps to go this time around, and all cars safely into the back straight, and out of turns 3 and 4 we come. It is Rob Rawlings, the man to catch. 21 laps. Rob Rawlings, Paul Joss, Braden Wington is up into third spot. The 1N, he has been a contender all weekend here. 4th spot is Matt Gordon in the 1AU. So some heavy hitters in our top 4. 20 laps to go in this one, Barry.
As they take it around, so Rob Rawlings leads another lap down. Paul Joss doing all the chasing, the son of a digger, but don't rule out Braden Wilmington and Matty Gordon. Scotty Nichols has just fallen off the back of that train just so slightly. He's under pressure from Tyler Humphries. But to look at from the back of the pack, Snowden's already moved through about 7 or 8 positions now. Rawlings makes a small mistake coming off forward. The top 3, you can throw a blanket off him. Nichols getting pressure there from Humphries as they come through once again. Humphries is going to steal that position away. Looking back at the field, Mazzik is going back in. Snowden's coming inside the top 12, I do believe, somewhere around that position. So he's moving forward quickly as the 33 has to get out of it as they come through. But they're 3 wide down the main straight as they come through. Paul Joss takes the lead going into turn number 1. He's got a pair of ones spot and top of him as they go through. Rob Rawlings on the high side. Paul Joss flies through mid-track right now. Braden Wilmington falls back. Scott Nichols calls it a race and retires to the infield as they come around this time. They're side by side. They have been so far. I'm going to run out of voice, Jared. This is absolutely crazy here at the Make Smoking History Bunbury Speedway.
This is a lung buster at the front, that's for sure. Rob Rawlings is just leading that charge at the moment. And then Paul Joss is back in second place. Braden Williamson watching it all unfold. They've seen 3 wide. They've seen so much racing. We have seen some amazing finishes for the Legend cars here tonight. 16 laps to go. And out in front is Rob Rawlings in the 1W. Paul Joss in second. Under comes Braden Williamson. He's going to try and get himself into second position. Paul Joss closes the gate momentarily. We are down to 15 laps to go into this one. All cars up and running on this track and doing good. One car does pull in though as I say that. And we've got Rob Rawlings out in front from Paul Joss. Braden Williamson, that is your top 3. Keep your eyes on that battle because that is where it at. One of these potentially could be an Australian champion. Behind them is the former Australian champion of Matt Gordon with 14 laps to go.
This race was only won with 5 laps left to go last year when Matt Gordon got the win. Now as Wilmington looks under the underside, Josh, lap traffic coming into play. Greg Josh retired to the infield now as lap traffic is definitely as they come around the outside of Colin Metcalf. They run it through turns 3 and 4 once again. Paul Joss doing all the chasing, Wilmington chasing him. There's battles all over this field, ladies and gentlemen, as they come down the main straight. Rawlings leads another one away as they come through. As lap traffic's down and dealt with as they'll come up on the back. The next car in the fray will be the 57 of Ricky Beard. But Tyler Humphries, he's trying to make the move from the back. The top 3 have been the standout on this one. Paul Joss, Braden Wilmington's in there as well. Joss is going to look to the bottom side of Rawlings. Rawlings shuts the door. He's led a feature race here to win the WA title only just last season as they come through. Wilmington looks to the bottom side of Josh. Josh hasn't quite got the speed there that he had last night as they run it down the back straight once again now into 3 and 4 as they run through. Rawlings with 1 or 2 car lane gap. As Baron Cax goes through as Julia Gordon puts him a lap down as well, but they're going to fall on the backside. Ricky Lee Beard now. Rawlings, Joss and Wilmington. Matty Gordon starting to fall a little bit off this train. Is he capable of closing it up?
Yes, there's a bit to play out yet in this one with lap traffic in front of them and 10 laps to go when they come across the start-finish line this time. Rob Rawlings has had his name up the top of this list for a good portion of this race, but it has been Paul Joss and Braden Williamson watching it happen. This is where the skill of the drive comes in. Wilmington gets underneath Joss momentarily. puts that lap car in front that's gone up in a ball of smoke. Out in front is Rob Rawlings, though. It's going to be 9 laps to go this time around, and what a big ding-dong battle this is. I'm loving this front three. You reckon Matt Gordon to be sitting there going, oh, I hope I'm going to feature in this towards the end. It is Rob Rawlings out in front, Paul Joss there on the outside. They get around a little bit more lap traffic, and it is Braden Williamson in third spot, trying to find a little avenue to get around Paul Joss. He goes underneath, Paul Joss goes wide. How's that going to pan out for him? I think Paul Joss is going to win out on this one. He does. It puts Williamson probably a little bit back further than what he'd hoped. Joss has got around all the lap traffic, and so has Rob Rawlings. We're going to see 7 laps to go in this, a big feature race.
As they come through this time around, Wilmington gets up, but here comes Matty Gordon. Braden Wilmington, you've got company from the guys of Matty Gordon. As they run it down the main straight, you still got a blanket over this top 4 cars. This is exciting. Swamp Donkey retires to the infield of Wayne Campbell. That's his race run, done and over. As they run it through, your top 4 are all still together. Humphrey's still trying to make his way through the field. Can't quite close that gate. Rawlings has been the standout in this feature race out front. Is Josh just following and waiting for his opportunity? As they go down the main straight, another lap in the books this time around. Only a handful left in this one. Those are 3 wide as they go into turns 1 and 2. Paul Joss on the rear, bumping out Rob Rawlings as they headed down. Matt Gordon in there as well. Wilmington's also in there as well. This is going to be exciting. They come around the outside of Cody Roberts. Paul Joss has a look on the inside. Has he got enough to get through it? He doesn't. He's going to follow him in. Another lap down in the books as they go through. Battles happening everywhere over the raceway here. As Wilmington does the dive onto Josh. Can't quite make it happen as they go down the back straight. Side by side racing all over the raceway. Everywhere you look.
It is the battle to look at the front here, and there is 4 laps to go. We'll bring this one home in what is going to be a massive finish. Who is going to be? It is Rob Rawlings, it is Paul Joss, it is Braden Williamson, and is Matt Gordon the 1AU. Probably the 4 chances in this one with 4 to go. 3.5 to go now. Under comes Williamson on Joss. Just can't quite get underneath him. Josh keeps closing the gate. They are basically a car length between them as they come around on different heights on the track here. Rob Rawlings would be keeping his finger crossed.
Turn three.
Incident on turn 3.
Turn 3.
Restart.
Turn
3.
Has he been sighted? Kim Williams went around in turn number 3. Has been spotted by Leas. Oh, he was late C there, guys. That was quite a lucky catch.
That was.
Kimmy Williams just overdone it. That's going to give us a 3-lap restart, I think, something like that, isn't it?
4 laps.
4 laps, mate. Come on. So we can do this. Me and you, we've done it all weekend. We got this. Of course, the retirees on the infield. Ricky Lee Beard has done an engine. Colin Metcalf has hurt in something in the engine as they're looking around that as well. The old Swamp Donkey, he lost a bit of oil pressure in the number 77. Greggy Joss pulled it in after going down in lap traffic really quickly, but one of our early retirees, Scotty Nichols, something wrong with that car as well. So that's a real shame. Because it looks like we've had someone pull up on the main straight. The cruiser just realised, too busy chatting away on the trailer.
Ben Boyd's up on the front straight.
Ben Boyd, Kimmy Williams is going to come and have a chat as well, have a look at that car as well. So we will actually go to single file restart now because we're inside the 5 laps to go. So the double into final start is over with. So we have 5 laps to go. Mate, I still can't give you a winner. Rob Rawlings is looking amazing. He did this last year too. He was okay through the heat race. He's got a heat win here and there at the state title here last year. But when the feature race came, mate, he absolutely just dominated and was unheard. Nathan Brennan couldn't run him down. So it's still too early to call, even with 4 laps to go.
It certainly is, and we just got 1 lap inside that double into final start. That could have made a real interesting battle out of this, but Paul Joss will have to do it from behind Rob Rawlings if he wants to pick up this Australian one. The car just doesn't seem to have quite the amount of speed as what he's had all weekend, but that could be just Rob Rawlings finding his feet too as well here on this track. We're going to go green, 4 laps to go. Just waiting for Kim Williams to rejoin the field. Order will be double checked. So going by my order here, it should be Rob Rawlings, Paul Joss, Braden Williamson, Matt Gordon, Tyler Humphreys, Travis Gould. Darren Snowden has got up into 8th position.
What a superstar.
That is a great hit. And obviously this restart helps him out a little bit as well. Could this give him the chance to catch up for a podium.
I think it might be on the double file start, maybe. I think this might be a bit tougher for him, but hey, you never say never in legend car racing here in Australia,
I reckon once they get around that cone, he'll be the big mover, I think.
We'll see if we can pull a Kenny Williams. I don't know if you realise Kenny Williams passed like 4 cars in the prelim feature last night before he even got to the cone. So that's why he got his 4-spot relegation at the end of the end of the feature. As I walked up to him and said, "What are you doing, Kenny?" He goes, "I don't know. I just went."
It's just excited to be there.
Yeah, so I said, it's Kenny's world, mate. We're just living in it. So, but that does bring you can't rule out Travis Gould or Kenny Williams, Tyler Humphries, mate. As I said, anyone in that top 6 or 7 cars there, mate, you just can't rule them out. I know Paul Joss. I've known him for a very long time, and I know that he won't be happy just following that number 1 car across the line.
No, he won't.
So
he won't. But I'm also tipping that Rob Rawlings wouldn't want to be following Paul Joss either. Evenly, Braden Williamson and Matt Gordon. Matt Gordon, you know, he's got this AU1 on his car now. He's wanting to keep hold of that. So this is the time to do it.
Well, this is about the time where he won it last year. So he was actually sitting 3rd with about 4 or 5 laps to go last year. And he managed just to get in there and get the win. So, you know, it's not easy to put a number 1, even if it's a state number. It's not easy to put a 1 on the car these days in any division of Speedway. It's so competitive, and it's just been an amazing event so far, mate. I think we're not far off going green. We're just sorting the last disorder out now.
There's 1 car out of order. Just trying to eavesdrop on next door. So they're happy with it now. All right, let's crown a champion here in the Hit WA Australian Legend Car Championship. G'day to the Hit team on the back straights. Big supporters of tonight. Rob Rawlings goes green. Paul Joss is there as well. Got to get around the cone first. Look at Braden Williamson. He was ready to pounce right as he went past that cone. He's going to sneak underneath Paul Joss. Meanwhile, Rob Rawlings has kicked away in this one. Joss back to 3rd. We've got Rob Rawlings in front. Then it's back to Braden Williamson. Is there another play in this for 2nd and 3rd place? Can 2nd and 3rd get up? Can we see the D1 AU get around as well? But Rob Rawlings is the man to beat at the moment. Wowee, what a race from Rob Rawlings out in front. He has led this race for a good portion of the 25 laps. 2nd place is Braden Williamson. Paul Joss is under threat for a podium position at the moment. He is back in 3rd with the 1AU hot on his heels. Rob Rawlings will see the white flag this time around. What a race from him out in front. Bit of swapping and changing for 3rd and 4th. We're going to see a gangbuster last lap here for the minor positions.
As they come through, white flag this time around for Robbie Rawlings. Can Braden Wilmington run him down? Matty Gordon making the move around the outside. Joss is off the noise a little bit coming up 4th. He's getting swamped through. He'll come through. Matt Gordon will go up into the 3rd place on the podium. Joss falls back to 4th. But it has been Rob Rawlings all the way through. Goes into 3 or 4 times. That would have been a big moment. But ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Your new Australian champion. Rob Rawlings takes the win. Braden Wilmington.
Carnage.
On the main straight. Big hit on the main straight, mate, as it all goes through. Absolute drama. Tyler he almost went big on the back straight as well. He's giving it everything, mate. This is Australian title. You don't leave nothing on the thing there. So we come through this time around.
He was doing circles. I've just watched the replay up here. He was doing circles, and it was very lucky more cars didn't come into contact there. Whew. Checkered flag to go into Rob Rawlings' hands. Give him a round of applause, Bunbury, and out there in the world, watching online, your new Australian champion for the Hit WA Australian Legend Car Championship, the 1W of Rob Rawlings.
Mate, I'm done. I'm exhausted.
That was an amazing race to watch.
Mate, you've done an amazing job all weekend, mate. Absolute honour working with you this weekend. It's absolutely exciting racing. A bit of drama at the end there. Hopefully you can get all that sorted.
Just trying to get the ambulance officials across to this incident there as well. So if they can hear us out there, the ambulance officials required over in the front straight here. They're just jumping over there now. it's not what the way we want to see that finished up. But just trying to pick up what cars drivers are out at the moment. It was a pretty heavy hit. Rob Rawlings on screen at the moment, celebrating. Put your hands together for him one more time for Rob Rawlings.
Mate, what about Snowden?
Oh, where did he finish? He got fourth in the end.
Mate, absolutely. So that would put Paul Joss at 5th.
Yes, it certainly would. So just seeing if we'll see any changes around this. So Australia 1 has cleared the scales. He's got the one on the side of his car. He can change the W to an AU. Sorry, that was the current Australian one, or the former now Australian one that's been cleared on the scales. I thought they'd weighed the new Australian one, but I'll correct myself. That was Matt Gordon that got the all clear there.
Yeah, we'll just wait through. So we'll just move this little cone area a little bit here because we'll have Darren Snowden. That's to come from the back of the field, mate, from 24th back up to 4th. He's definitely a mover and shaker, Darren Snowden. He's one to watch, mate. That was an absolute star run from the 9A.
You would say that restart, we would have seen maybe a different complexion there, but that is racing, and we've seen that he has cleared the scales, has the 9A of Darren Snowden, I'm hearing on the radio. So we've got our Paul Joss, number 19, to come in.
We've got Joss to come in, and then we're also just going to wait for our Australian champion to come in as well. So the rules are we can't have anyone touch the cars now. They go what we call into park permit or quarantine, so no one can actually touch these cars. These guys look absolutely exhausted. I can imagine Darren Snowden is, mate. He go to the back of the field and comes back and puts it on position number 4, mate. That's crazy. That car's quick enough to be the Australian champion as well. So
all drivers out of the car for that incident as well. From my vision, all 3 drivers out of the car, which is good news. And ambulance officials are moving away from that area with no driver. So that is good news on an unfortunate incident across the finish line. It was, as you said, Barry, putting everything on the line to get those cars across the line and get into position.
Yeah, absolutely. We just get Paul Joss's car into position now. We'll wait for at least the scale all clear. So these are all unofficial results at this time and moment. I'm actually looking at the back of Darren Snowden's car, mate, and he's actually broken the whole rear bumper off the car.
There you go.
At the end. So he's quite lucky to even get the finish there. So take the small wins where you can get them, absolutely. So as we bring it through. And Rob Rawlings has made weight. He has been given the all clear across the scale. Still unofficial, guys.
Some great text coming through. Amazing race. Now we can have a throat gargle. It was a bit of a lung buster there. It's great. And you can see the drivers. They are also feeling what was a big race there. Thank you to everyone that's texting. Thank you, Troy, for your texts throughout the night. Braden's been given a big shout out from his folks for his drive tonight as well. So all the ones, first, second and third in the end there, incidentally. The 1W, the 1N and the 1AU. In that order, Rawlings, Williamson and Gordon, your top 3. We'll head downstairs very shortly to present to these winners. All the weights have come back all clear as well, which is good news. Just pointed out from one of our correspondents, a very good race. Best title race finish I've seen for some time. I tend to agree with that. It was a very, very good finish, and you really didn't know who was going to win it. Even coming into the last lap, Rob Rawlings obviously was pushing away. But yeah, a very, very, very good race. We'll head downstairs to Barry very shortly, who's got the drivers ready to have a chat.
Yeah, sorry for the hold up, ladies and gentlemen. We're just doing a quick track check on these cars, obviously just doing the prelim checks as well. There's still a few other checks we will have to do post presentation, so we're just quickly running the track bar over these cars. They've got to be within a certain wheel track, certain length and width that they're allowed to have. They're checking everything over. But we'll start getting into our presentations, actually. We'll just start knocking it off now. He qualified on the pole, and I know he'll be happy with the result, but heartbroken at the same time. Your fifth place position in the 2025 Australian title, Hit FM Australian title, the W19 of Paul Joss. So as we just figure out how to do sashes every year, this is something that we always have to learn how to do. Paulie should be used to this one by now.
Yeah, of course.
There we go.
Hey.
Paulie, it's not the number one step, but I'm sure you're still happy with it. Well, you've had a pretty big weekend, big couple months leading into this, mate. You're still going to be pretty happy to be sitting in the top 5 of an Australian title.
Oh, definitely. We didn't know that we would have the pace to win a few heats here, and like, it was what it is what it is. Like, we were trying really hard. We were battling with Darren at the start. We slapped wheels. Got a little bit hard to steer, but we were still going for it. Rob was just too much class for us and got past, and we got hot, and don't know what's happened, but she was a bit sad off that restart, and then I just had to go to the bottom and hold on as good as I could. And like, it was just wicked to drive against these guys. They're a really good bunch of blokes and all that, and super stoked that Rob got it again. Yeah, thanks.
Still a Club 69 Australian champion, really is it the way I see it in my eyes, mate. You've obviously got some people you actually need to thank too, I guess.
Oh, definitely. To Mum and Dad, Collie Bindhire, for everything they do, the missus, the kids, Collie Ridge Motel, we got ODH Mechanical, we got Ken Melvin at Collie Machine Shop, Collie Sign Effects, my sister and my brother-in-law, everyone that helps, it's a big deal. Yeah, geez. I'll probably forget people, but nah, thanks to all my crew that busted their bums. Like, they worked really hard on the car to get it where it is, and nah, thanks a lot.
Nah, well done, mate. Guys, your first place getter in the Australian title, Paul Joss. We'll move down the chain a little bit, up the chain a little bit. Our 4th place getter, it didn't quite work his way, mate. He started up near the front on the front row. He got sent to the back. He fought his way back to 4th place. Your 4th place getter, the 9A of Darren Snowden. Racers would understand the heartbreak that you're feeling right now, mate. You had a car definitely quick enough to be on the top step tonight. To go back to 24th and fight back to 4th, though, you've got to be goddamn proud of that.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to land in the crowd somewhere at some point in time, but I knew I had to get back there because we just hooked bumper bars, and I don't know, it's just one of those things, man.
It is. Obviously, you've come a long way for this title, mate. You've put on a class too as well. You've got a lot of people probably to thank.
Yeah, just firstly, thanks to the crew that flew out here with me, my wife as well. All my sponsors, Cap Corp Group, Mick and Joe's Tyre Powers, Goulburn, Weldon Moore, Auto One Goulburn, and Granger Brothers Fat Lambs and Angus Beef, and everyone at home that supports us. It's been a big effort to get here, but I guess it's worth it.
Well done, mate. We're happy to have you, and we'd love to have you back here again, mate. Your fourth place getter, Darren Snowden. We'll go to our top three now. This guy is your outgoing Australian champion. He definitely can still be proud for the week he sort of had being here as well. Hurt an engine, broke some oil lines off it, and he's managed to get back out there, and he was competitive. It was just a bullet fast pace sitting out there. Your third place to get, your outgoing Australian champion of Matty Gordon. Matty, mate, we've got a lot of people on the East Coast watching this one still, sitting up and waiting for this. And, mate, it's not the number one step, and we all want to be there in that idea, but you've got to be pretty proud of coming across here and still being on the podium for Australian title.
Oh, that's it. That was the goal. Just see if we can get to the podium, bring the car home straight, and go into next weekend and see if we can put a different type of one on the door. And congrats to all the other competitors and all that. It's a great race. I wish we could come over more often, but it's a bit too far.
Obviously, you've got a lot of sponsors on this car you've got to thank that made this whole trip possible, mate.
Yeah, that's it. First of all, Craig and Josh helping out. Mum and Dad, Jules, Loretta and Cole coming over. Massive thanks to Ken Melvin from Collie Machine Shop. Put us up in the shed to work on the cars, to do the engine changes and all the other work we had to do. Sign FX from Collie for putting us up, camping out in their backyard, so it's pretty cool. Greg, Collie Bin Hire, RPM Designs, Mud Monster, Parker Motorsport, Profile Autosports, BRM, Barnier Race Parts, SKM Communications and Vivid Customs and High Tech Oils. Thanks very much.
Well done, mate. On third place, you definitely earned every part of that, mate.
Yeah, cheers.
Mate, well done. We'll go to our second place getter tonight, mate. He gave it his all. He got the prelim feature last night and he's just fallen one step short, so I guess it's the one end that stays on there for now. But your second place together in the Hit FM 2025 Australian title of Braden Wilmington. Mate, we've had a few of these talks over these last few nights. I mean, you wanted to keep the one on the door and you wanted to put an A, but you've come across just you and the missus, mate, and the help with KJB and that. I mean, you've got to be so goddamn proud of where you are right now.
Yeah, no, look, it's hard to sit here in second, but it's awesome to be over here. Awesome to have the opportunity from Kyle and KJB for letting me come over here, race the car, and Statewide Bearings helping me out. Marilla Electrical Group really helping to get me over here. Blast It, being a sponsor for ages. Hit WA for sponsoring the event and the car. It's just the car looks awesome. It's the first Legend car I've ever had that's had a livery on it, so it's really cool. But yeah, testament to Robbie. Robbie's the best Legend car driver in the country at this point in time and has been for a long time. He puts so much effort into it. It's really hard to beat him. When you can beat him, it's really good, but sometimes you don't. And it's awesome job to him. Congrats to him. Same to everyone else here on this podium and everyone that finished this race tonight. It was an awesome weekend. So much fun over here at Bunbury. Really looking forward to hopefully getting the opportunity to come back here and try it all again.
Now, well done, mate. Your second place together of Braden Wilmington. And this will take us to our new Australian champion. Here's a former Australian champion. He's your current West Australian champion, Robbie Rawlings. Typical WA, we hand you too many things you can hang on to, mate. It's not really a bad problem to have, is it?
Nah, not a bad problem at all. One I really like to have.
Mate, you really, I'd call you just a quiet achiever this weekend. You didn't do nothing special in the heat races. You did enough to put yourself in the front couple of rows. We did say it would come from the front 3 or 4 rows to win this Australian title this weekend. You didn't look overly happy with the car in total going through the heat races, and then you just found something tonight in your last heat race. And then all of a sudden it just clicked again. And I knew from calling it, once you hit that lead in that feature race, I knew how hard you were going to be to pass, mate, and especially around this big bad bull ring.
Yeah, that was awesome racing. I've been fighting to get the car how I wanted all weekend. I normally run a sedan, so these are a little bit different to set up. So it's taken me a bit to get it right, and I've been trying my hardest to stay out of trouble, not get any damage. When it's not your car, you've got to be extra careful with it. So massive thanks to Greg from Josh Motorsport. Without him, I wouldn't be here. Big thanks to my wife, Anna, my family, Isabella and Audrey. Without them supporting me, I wouldn't be able to make it out here. Big thanks to Collie Binhire, Collie Signs FX, Hotel Queanbeyan, and LA Racing Lubricants. Big help to me. So yeah, thank you very much.
Mate, we get to see that fluoro yellow number 1 back on the side of that car where you feel it belongs, mate. We're very proud of what you've achieved this weekend. This was not your first one, mate, but with what you've got sitting in front of you on this podium, plus what the cars that went back to the pits, it'd probably be one of the hardest titles you've probably had to compete in a while.
Oh yeah, it's good to get back to the sort of numbers that we used to have back in the day. We used to get like 40 plus cars, and this is what we used to have week to week, so it's really good to get the quality of cars back and drivers. It's really good to show the potential of legend cars.
No, well done, mate. Get up on that top step. We'll get the podium, get there and get a photo. Jared, I'm going to close up to you. That's our top 5 for the Hit FM WA Legend Car National title, mate. What an amazing weekend it's been, not just from Legend Cars, but also Formula 125, Super 6, V8 Dirt Modifieds, Junior Sedans and Super Mods as well, mate. This has just been an awesome weekend.
It certainly has, and thank you for your help across the weekend, Baron. Thank you to everyone who's been part of it out on the line, and thank you to those heading out into the car park as well at the moment. And it has been a fantastic championship here as we watch the final pictures of our champions, our top 4 and top 5 getting a photo there from the Make Smoking History Bunbury Speedway. Get home safe. Have a good night if you're at home when you're jumping in and heading off to bed for those on the East Coast that have just watched some of their favourite drivers get up and about. It's been a great weekend as we have finished up the Hit WA Australian Championship for the Legend Cars. That's it from us here at the Bunbury Speedway.